Damian Woody, are these two teams?
Why are you smiling?
Are these two teams on a collision
Because
course?
he's talking about the Patriots.
To me in the Super Bowl.
Why am I smiling?
Your codes still work at the building.
I think they are. To be honest, I think they are. I think when you look at the Patriots, what they do so well is they play complementary football. Okay, and Lewis really can speak to this as well. One thing that Bill always used to preach was more teams find ways to lose games and win them. The Patriots, they don't lose games. They don't have those self-inflicting wounds. They go out there, they play smart football, defensively, offensively, special teams. Find me another team in the AFC that's playing that type of football. There's no one out there playing that type of football. And then with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously we saw it last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This time of year, right around this time, they started taking off. Tom Brady could make the case probably the MVP of the league right now. You could make that type of case. He's playing that type of football. They're getting healthier on the defensive side.
Wait, hang on. I want to get to Diana first. You're not buying it.
I'm not buying it because you forgot about this guy named Aaron Rodgers suddenly, and also you forgot about a guy named Patrick Mahomes. All right, so
I didn't forget. I didn't forget about either one of them.
Do I think it's possible that this Super Bowl could align? It would be the best story that we've had in years in terms of getting ready for a big game. Yes, of course. But I think the reality is the Kansas City Chiefs are not dead. They are back. Their offense isn't even as good as they could be, and they're winning games every single week. They have health on their side. They're a better football team, top to bottom right now, than the New England Patriots, which is why I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. As for the NFC, yes, Tom Brady is playing the best football. He could be MVP. I still think Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers head-to-head will be a better team in the NFC Championship game and play in the Super Bowl.
I like that little dude over there, too. I think we're overlooking Kyler Murray and what the Arizona Cardinals is because they can win in multiple ways. They can run the football, and sometimes we have that West Coast bias. And I think if it's either team, the team that I think won't hold up their end of the bargain is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just think that gauntlet is too hard. I think, Green Bay is better prepared to beat them. I think if, the Rams figure it out, they could beat them. I think the easier path is for the New England Patriots. But I wouldn't be surprised if either one of these teams can lose in the opening week. The good thing is we believe that the Patriots, well, not the good thing. The good thing for the Patriots is the fact that they're probably going to get that bye. And some good football team is going to knock another good football team. And that was always the recipe. They always, because they played in the weakest division in football, they always had that first round bye, and they had the easier path, and they had the best quarterback, and which kept them healthy because you beat the hell out of each other the weekend before, and then you have to go up there and face them in Gillette.
So you're not necessarily buying this matchup. Lewis, are you buying a Patriots-Bucs Super Bowl?
Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it, and it's because, look, I think, again, both of these teams they're built the right way. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their offensive line and defensive lines are two of the strongest in the NFL. Look, they have a lot of continuity on the O-line. They have big, strong, powerful backs. Leonard Fournette has really started to blossom as an all-around back. And we saw what the offensive line could do last year in crunch time when they needed them the most and how the running game could take over. On defense, look, Vita Vea, JPP, William Golston, Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, Joe Tryon, those guys, look, that's as good of a front four or some kind of rotation of a front four as there is in the NFL. So I think they have what it takes along with New England, and we already know how they're built. Green Bay for sure. Green Bay's not just about Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to Devontae Adams. You see what their running game is like. You see the physicality that they can play with, which again is going to be a common theme for me as we move on down here through the stretch. Watch Arizona this week. Watch how they play the Rams. I like the Rams. I need to see the Rams play that physical game more so. Soft. And then over in the AFC, there's no doubt that Kansas City, their offensive line is one of the best in the NFL. They understand they're not going to be the Kansas City of old, so I wouldn't even expect it. They understand what they need to do now in order to win. So I think right now, look, it'll be them in New England that come out of it in the AFC, and I think it'll be Green Bay and Tampa in the NFC.
Okay. I still imagine that matchup. Bucks, Patriots. Oh,